David. Today is a very exciting day for our franchise. The first day of a new era of Fever basketball, and very proud and pleased to introduce our new head coach, Pokey Chatman. And I'm going to say a couple words about Pokey, and then I'm going to turn it over to her because we've spent the last couple of weeks together talking, commiserating about the future, and I'll say to you that I am thrilled beyond words that she's going to become our next head coach. I can't imagine anybody better suited, better prepared, more experienced, hungry to take this group of players and to lead this franchise. Pokey and I have known each other through the years, and I haven't really gotten a chance to know her more than I have these last couple of weeks. But, things that I've observed about her teams. One is they're well coached, they're well disciplined, they play hard, they play fast, score a lot of points. They're also well developed. I mean, the things I've noticed about her teams and her players is they always get better. Her player development is really one of the best in the league. So, that was exciting to me. We share a lot of the same DNA. We both played for a woman who was very influential in our lives, and I'm sure she's looking down on us right now, Sue Gunner, who was a legendary coach at Stephen F. Austin for me and at LSU for her. And you actually emulate a lot of her body language positions on the sidelines. But Sue Gunner was a great influence on my life, kind of was the Pat Summitt, Jody Conrad era. So, we have a long history in that way as well, but there's a saying that goes with you can't teach experience, and I think what Pokey has done through her body of work, coaching international players, coaching WNBA players, coaching great players, and she's driven. I mean, she's emailing me at 4:30 in the morning wanting practice video because she's already gone through all the game video. So I am so excited to be working side by side with her as we move forward, build off the success and the foundation that we have. This is just the beginning of a new era of more to come. So I'm going to turn it over to Pokey and take it away.
Thank you, Kelly. I first want to say how grateful I am for this opportunity. From top to bottom, I think I tell people when they knew I was interested in this job, the synergy here, it's palpable. You think when you're on the outside looking in, competing against an Indiana franchise, you think you have an idea because you have an up-close and personal look, or you hear certain things. But what can't be denied or mistaken is the feel you get when you walk in the office and you're talking to Rick or Jim, or just watching the people that have been here for so many years. And I'm not just talking about management, high-level positions. I joked earlier today, even the people that checks my bag for security, even the ushers, this is a place that you want to be. And the feeling that I got up close and personal as a coach from Chicago, it's real, it's magnified. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to lead an organization that is so well respected by so many outside, even the competition. I got phone calls or text messages from 7 of the 9 coaches in the WNBA. And granted, they're congratulating me, but the words that are coming from the mouths of coaches, agents, fans about this organization, it kept me up all night again. And part of being up at 4 o'clock in the morning is I'm anxious to get started, to take this franchise, keep it, take it to the next level. And the second face I saw was Tamika Catchings, and I had an old colleague of mine said, you think you can talk Catchings out of retirement? That's a compliment. That's a compliment. And I will say this, as a coach, I think Tamika Catchings is not arguably the greatest leader of all time in our game. And if someone wants to argue with me, I'll go toe to toe with them on that. So the byproduct of that is my point guard, who's sitting next to her, gets 8 years of that. I don't have to buy a book. I don't have to bring in a speaker. I don't have to fake it. That's real. And, being 3.5 hours away for so long, you see the transformation of that. You see that. And it's one of those things where sometimes I didn't want Tamika to not play because I knew what was next. You could hear it, you could see it, you could feel it. So I'm excited about the legacy that she's created and left here. A franchise as a record 12 playoff appearances. There's banners, for conference championships. There's the brass, the rings. What's impressive to me are the cheeks and the seats, the fan base. And I have to be honest, I thoroughly enjoyed playing here. I just hated the 3.5-hour bus ride back when it didn't go my way. Players were like, "Coach, can I go home with my family?" "Sure, I don't want to see you." But and I say that out of respect. And sometimes, imitation is the best form of flattery. And part of that was I remember trying to build a team as a GM to beat Indiana because there were some things in this culture that a scouting report didn't matter. The grit. I think sometimes that's an overused word, the grit to persevere over a long period of time. But I think this organization, this team, this leadership from top to Kelly to the bench boss to the players, it's something they call plucky. It's in that moment of adversity to overcome things, be it an injury, foul trouble, a slump, a poor officiating night. Can I get fined at a press conference?
No.
Just in that moment to be able to overcome those things, and it just became part of the way. I will tell you this. I'll talk a little bit of basketball. I know you guys will have some questions. I was smart enough to pay attention to Sue Gunner, and the reason she was able to have success in this profession is that she evolved with the game. She wasn't hard-headed to where we're going to do it my way, I don't care. And so there's that evolution process, which was passed on to me. Yeah, of course, we all have this ideal way of what we want, how we want to play. I will say this, what's not broke in Indiana, I won't try to fix it. I could see a difference in the last 2 years with the pace of play being picked up here, which involving everyone. Always been a good half-court offensive team, and it's something that I look forward to integrating some of the things that I think could take us to an even higher level. I want to be top 3 defensively. And I could be wrong on this, but when we played you guys in September, I think we were about 5th or 6th. Okay, now some of that is product of the pace of our game changing, being a little bit faster. But some of those things, they're not going to change. Like I said earlier, I love the leadership that's here, not just with the point guard. I think about Orlando Larkins. I can remember back in college, she played the 3 when I was recruiting her. No, seriously. She played the 3. And so she's going to have to take that high post jumper. I'm just saying. But not just the basketball part, but I watched her evolution, her mind, her body, her voice. It wasn't just cheering, it was instructing. So that's a product of what I get to step into. We're talking about Marissa Coleman. She's a 7-year vet, with a new lease on life. Part of that is her, part of that is the environment created by everyone here, and you see it. An Indiana player, regardless, they're not going to stay in a slump. They're going to work their way out of it, and in the process, the product is not going to suffer. So I'm excited about all of that. I won't bore you with a lot of basketball stuff. We're going to pick up the pace. I think in order for us to get to number 3, top 3 defensively, easy stuff, because the grit, hard work, and knowledge is there. I talk about the first 4 steps, transition defense, and the last 4 seconds of the half-court offense. That's an area where I can look at the numbers. I can look at the team in video. We improve there. We're on our way to marrying some of that good basketball that's in the half-court, that's in transition, the mindset, the mentality, the expectations of getting us where we want to be. I could talk all day basketball, so I'm going to stop. I'm excited. I'm anxious to get started. And I look forward to the future here and continuing the winning ways that's Indiana Fever basketball. Thank you.
We'll open it up for questions from the media, and we will ask you to use microphones for those who are recording. Questions?
David Woods from the Indianapolis Star. Kelly, if I could start with you. I mean, you were obviously very patient in this process. We didn't know what you would do to succeed Stephanie, and I don't know where were you along in the process of finding a new coach when Pokey became available, because that was, I think, probably unexpected by everyone in the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean, I was, I was determined to be very thorough. One of my primary goals was to find a coach that had great coaching experience, preferably head coaching experience, in our league. I think this is, every year this is a 20-year-old league. It's tough to compete. I mean, there's so much, thought that goes into how to prepare every game. We play 34 games in about 98 days. It's tough. It's a grind. And there's only 12 people that do what she does. There's only 12 people that do what I do. And, I think that know-how for our group of players, for our veterans, is I wanted to make sure they had somebody that understood that and that understood this level of game. And, I'd had a few phone interviews with some other candidates, and I heard that there might be an opportunity to speak with her, and I was thrilled because she obviously fits a lot of the criteria that I was looking for. And when that opportunity came, I think the rest is history there.
Questions?
Coach, what were some of the major takeaways for you during all of those battles you had with the Fever when you were with Chicago, and were they part of this decision process for you?
Wow, how long do we have? I've already got the job, so I'm not trying to, be extra complimentary. It's just the entire makeup of the organization, top down. And then to successfully carry that onto the court, be it in a practice setting, be it a shoot-around, on the bench, halftime. It's a feel, it's a noise. You feel it, you see it. And then you have to prepare for it, okay? Okay, that's the intangibles. But at the end of the day, there's always been great leadership on this bench, and I'm looking forward to receiving some of the fruits of the labor of the people that preceded me. I adore Stephanie White. I'm a lot older than Stephanie, so I remember when she played. I know her mentality in terms of how she approaches the game. But I'll go all the way back to Lynn Dunn. Lynn was in the SEC a long time ago. A lot of people don't remember that. And she was close with Coach Gunner. I used to fly out, and she was in the ABL, Portland Power. So to see all of that infused in this organization, in the role that Kelly plays that, and bringing in a type of player that elevates that's exciting to me. It makes me understand that the basketball part, they're going to be hungry for. They understand their weaknesses. I had one conversation with Breon January, and I asked her one of her weaknesses, and then she went right to it. Now, I didn't think it was weak, okay? It may not just be as good as the rest, and I say that, as a compliment, but just their awareness of the game and what it takes to maintain the highest level is something that coaches are starved for, trust me. And I've been doing this 25 years. And we can, try to motivate them, but the self-motivation that's here and the hunger that's here, unmatched.
Coach, have you had a chance to talk with Steph since accepting the job?
Just via text message. Stephanie was doing the Big Ten games, and I lived in Evanston, so they would come over and do games. So that type of talk when we were competitors. But I will worry her a lot. I would talk to her a lot. I got a nice text message from Lynn Dunn. But that's something I would do anyway. I like to go to certain colleges and watch, how they prepare and how they teach. It's just part of what we do. So that'll just be the next stop on my list. And Stephanie's one of those old souls who wants to empower our game. And the text message I got from her was how much I'm going to love this organization, how much I'm going to love this team, and I'm here if you need me. And I said, I will hold you to that.
In your previous role, you're also general manager. How might that be an asset of what you're trying to do or understanding of what Kelly's trying to do?
I get to be a student, from the best. And not many people get that 25 years into their profession. Different role in Chicago. I needed to be the general manager. Different, set of circumstances. I'm excited to have someone that's had so much success, undeniable success, and to learn from her in terms of what she's looking for to infuse this program to keep it at the top of the WNBA.
Changing styles can be difficult early in the season, certainly. Do you feel like Stephanie came in here and tried to pick up the pace? Do you feel like maybe this team is better suited to go through whatever change you're going to bring them upon based on the last couple of years?
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's addition and enhancement. You know, I specifically remembered when Stephanie was picking up the pace. I was just thankful we played them early because they were still figuring it out. I was like, I do not want to play them in August. Jeez and Pete's. So that foundation has been laid. I'll tell you this, there's just certain things that I'm not going to mess with because it's working really well. You know, the intricacies of the game. This unit this past year with the Fever, they were the best team in dribble handoff offense by far. You know, and there are certain areas that we can enhance, but it's the game within the game that I think these players are ready for. It's only 12 teams. You play everyone a lot of times. I think the game within the game is after free throw offense, after timeout offense, because they may not know it, but they're number 2 defensively when a team comes out. So they're ready there. So I think you just enhance areas of play with players that are capable of doing it. The success is here. I just want to grow it.
Final questions? All right, if no more questions, thank you very much, Pokey Chatman. Welcome to the Fever.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you.